Here's Dan Shapiro to help you find your edge, master your process, and own your future.
Hey guys, good evening everybody. Welcome to another edition of the actionsoftrader.com nightly wrap-up show. Hope everybody is doing great. Right? Hope everybody's doing well. Guys, take a moment out, support the channel, click a like. All it takes is a tenth of a second. And again, hopefully I will point you in the right direction. So let's talk about it, right? So let's talk about what everybody's looking at this evening is the earnings of AM's. Said no trader ever. Anyway, glad you're paying attention. Anyway, after yesterday's technical damage, obviously we lost the 5-day moving average, down about 2% on the NASDAQ. The question was, well, what was going to happen next? Obviously, yesterday triggered a pretty aggressive sell signal through short-term 5-day support. And by the time I recorded the video last night, everything got smoked. Like last night, if you guys watched the overnight trading, everything was down huge after the close. And I'm like, oh, dude, our whole game plan for today is done, right? Is absolutely done. So I was like a little bit bummed out. I had, nothing really impressive to say. I was just bummed out. I'm like, oh, we're going to have another, gap and crap type of day, which is fine. So the next day I have to wait for rejections into the first rally. And then I wake up this morning, right? I wake up this morning and I see a tweet that Trump basically said that expect the market or something, I'm just paraphrasing, expect the market to be at all-time highs. That really saved the day. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President. So the stocks that were down $3, $4, $5, a lot of them were green today, right? Green at the open. And I'm like, wow, I even tweeted this out. I go, this is a gift. And again, if you've been watching this broadcast for a long time, you know the day after technical damage, under no circumstances do you ever buy the open into strength because you're buying it into declining 60 minutes supply. And I tell you one thing, man, at one point, the NASDAQ was trying to reclaim back. As you can see here, the NASDAQ was trying to reclaim back the 626 level. I did not put on a single long trade. Every single setup we had, every single trade I had was to the short side today, either rejecting into supply or a second day play on PLTR, losing yesterday's lows, which kind of we talked about on the previous night's video. And slowly but surely, you started seeing stocks get weaker and get weaker and get weaker. So if you look at the scoreboard, NASDAQ down 2% yesterday, up 0.6% today. But again, when you look at if you look at the stocks, right? Look at the stocks. Amazon, right? Look at Amazon today, right? Amazon up less than $1. Apple pretty much flat, right? Up 10 cents. Okay. Snow was red. Microsoft was red. Can't get out of its own way. Nvidia got murdered. I had a really, really good rejection on the 202.30s level. And then later in the day, I didn't take the last rejection, which I'm sick of, because the last rejection took the stock down red. And now the stock got absolutely murdered into the close. You got PLTR again, couldn't even dead cat bounce, right? Couldn't even dead cat bounce today. Stock continues to bleed. Roblox continues to bleed. SMCI, Pinterest, right? Pinterest, crappy earnings continued to bleed. And you can turn around and go, well, AMD did great. And absolutely, right? Because AMD was realistically the driver of the selling last night. And to AMD's credit, it went green on the day. So you figure everything was going to start rallying, and that just wasn't the case. And the most important part of the takeaway where we're starting to form technically is now that we are building below the 5-day moving average. So this is now the second close below the 5-day moving average. And now this is the second close below the 10-day moving average as well. Again, not a good thing. For the bulls to kind of reclaim back control, they have to reclaim back the 5-day moving average. That is reclaiming 627 on a close. That's the previous day's channel, and that's the 5-day supply now. If the bulls can close above 627, then everything we've seen in the last 24 hours kind of goes out the window, and we're rallying right back into highs. But the problem is it didn't. It got rejected again off the 5-day moving average. It held the 20, and now the 20 becomes very, very important. Guys, write down this level. And these are the two levels, all you need to know going forward from now till the end of the year, okay? 627 to the upside, 617 to the downside. That's it. Everything else, you trade individual equities based on merit, based on setup, based on sentiment. But the longer we continue to build below the 5-day moving average, the longer we continue to close below 626, 627, the higher probability that today's lows, which is the 20-day moving average, will get tested again, and then we're going to start pressing a lower level. So it's very, very important that you do understand that. So it's 627 to the upside, 617 to the downside, right? So you have a lot of players not rallying today. ARM, nice quarter, at least nice reaction to the quarter. I really didn't look at it. I really didn't care. Nice reaction, but just like everything else, it's starting to give everything back. Had a big pop, right? Big pop. And now it's coming back in. Again, do you guys remember what PLTR did, right? You guys remember what PLTR did on earnings, right? It had a big pop, and then just the next day just absolutely faded into the abyss. And that's exactly kind of what at least we're seeing on the surface having with ARM. So again, we're continuing to see the same thing, guys. Even companies that are coming out with really good earnings are being sold. And that's the narrative. That's literally what's happened in the last 3, 4, 5 days. And the most important part is to sell the good news, sell the bad news, just sell is not really helping out equities. The big story, obviously, for tomorrow is going to be Tesla, right? Everybody knows that it's going to be Tesla tomorrow. And I'm reading from this, believe me, if you think I've memorized this, you're out of your mind. So Tesla, right, has a very, very big vote. Here's basically what we're saying. Tesla shareholders are deciding on Musk's $1 trillion pay plan, okay? Shareholders, I'm paraphrasing this, shareholders will have until midnight tonight to vote for the $1 trillion pay package, which could raise Musk's stake to 25% if growth targets are met. Why is this important? Because Elon already has said in the past, pay me, right? Pay me. You know why you pay me? Because I'm the face of Tesla. I'm the creativity I'm the ingenuity, right? I am the man who drives the car, literally and figuratively. Because if you don't pay me for my time, I am going to focus on other things. I'm going to focus on SpaceX. I'm going to focus on robotics. I'm going to focus on this. I'm going to focus on that. So I believe in heart of hearts, the pay package will get approved, right? It will get approved. We continues to see massive 500 calls being put up. Everybody's long Tesla overnight. Everybody's long to the vote. I'm not long to the vote. Now, the question is, Dan, why are you not voting to the quote? This is the most obvious trade of the universe. Sorry, something's in my eye. And it's probably is the most obvious trade in the universe. The problem is I have a little theory, right? And here's my theory. If you believe that 90% of the traders are wrong, which I believe 99% of the traders are wrong, but for a conversation piece, if you believe that 90% of the traders are wrong, well, why are you in the same trade with them at the same time thinking the same thing? Does that mean you're wrong? It does not mean you're wrong. We can be having this conversation tomorrow and say, Dan, you're an idiot. You should have been wrong overnight. Yeah, I'm good, right? Even if it does, I'm good. We can be having this conversation tomorrow, and we're taking Tesla long tomorrow above the previous candle's range, and the stock closes at 500 tomorrow. Okay, I'll be okay with that, right? I'll be okay with that, and I will be happy for every single person that is long the stock overnight. Again, I don't play favorites with Tesla. You know, long, short, it doesn't make a difference. So if you're long overnight, I'm rooting for you. I really am. I'm rooting for you because nothing hits better, nothing hits harder, nothing feels better than Tesla as a runaway train, right? That's scenario A. Here's scenario B, what we talked about for the last several days. Stocks are being sold on news. Okay, I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer. I'm just telling you what reality is. PLTR, good earnings, sold. Right? Again, you can just go, go down the line. Good earnings, sold. Good PR, sold. Microsoft, OpenAI, sold. Right? So it's a scenario of what is happening right now in the market versus what I think could happen as well. Again, I'm not a smart guy. I am the king of the idiots. If you're watching this broadcast for the first time, hello, Your Majesty. Right? Thank you. Right? I'm the king of the idiots. So I don't know. All I do know is there's a lot of betting in the same direction at the same time, trying to get the same outcome. My worst case scenario tomorrow is the stock gaps up. It gaps up a lot. It comes into the first support. It holds, takes out the highs of the day, and I'm long, and the stock goes to 500, and we're all throwing Elon Musk a $1 trillion party, right? That's best case scenario. Second best case scenario is, well, the stock doesn't do what everybody thinks, comes back in, takes out today's lows, and I'm selling this thing with two hands with extreme prejudice. Again, I'm speaking from the trading point of view. I'm not speaking from the investment point of view. I'm not speaking to what I want to see happen. Again, let me reiterate. I want to see the stock go high. I'm just prepared, super prepared, in case it doesn't. And that's it. So we'll see exactly what happens with Tesla going into tomorrow's session. But again, if you look at the charts and you're getting a lot of bleeders, continues to get bleeders, I am still very, very, very biased to the sell side. And again, all my trades today even to the downside. Shorting NVIDIA on a rejection, beautiful fade. I caught even Tesla short today. Of all things, I caught Tesla short yesterday, below yesterday's lows. Came in like a couple points. I shorted PLTR below yesterday's lows, earnings lows, worked for like a couple of points, literally in a matter of seconds, which was great. So my concentration is on the low-hanging fruit. Where's the low-hanging fruit, you ask? Let me show you, right? Pinterest, crappy earnings, right? What do I want to do with Pinterest? I want to watch this thing through yesterday's lows, through today's lows. SMCI, crappy earnings, guess what, right? I want to watch it through today's lows. What else? What else died today, Vine? What else was crappy today? I forgot. UPST, right? UPST got absolutely manslaughtered, right? I want to watch this thing below today's lows. So this is, for me, the low-hanging fruit, right? This is the stocks that already had the negative catalyst in play. Nobody wants to buy stock, at least for the next day. And all I'm going to do is try to see if there's a day two of selling. If these stocks gap up, I would love to short them into supply. But if they start going green to red, right? They start going green to red and lose today's channel, I will be a seller. So definitely keep an eye on those. Tesla, we talked about. Again, I'm cheering. Hopefully it goes. Let's see if AMD, right? Let's see if AMD actually has a day two. It tried to get back above, and again, did a phenomenal job. I mean, really, really phenomenal job of getting off its back, going green, had a big move. Let's keep an eye on this thing through today's channel, just in case it, gets going. I'm also going to keep an eye on ARM, not to the long side. Sorry, guys, just because of what we talked about. I'm going to keep an eye on ARM just in case it gives back. I have no interest in the upside in ARM, but just in case it gives back its earnings gains, I want to watch this thing through opening range lows. But obviously tomorrow, my focal point, usually it's always my focal point, but my big focal point tomorrow is Tesla. Again, let's see if it could get above Monday's highs, right? If it gets above Monday's highs, Tesla could scream to 500. But again, there's a flip side. Again, it keeps on holding the 20-day. If it loses the 20-day moving average with both hands with extreme prejudice. Guys, have a great night, everybody. God bless. Hope everybody's doing well. And I will catch you on the field tomorrow. Take care.